Let me go to Virginia and talk to Seth. Seth, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, dude?
All is well, Seth. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Question for you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Hello? Okay. My question is, I have a family trip to Switzerland next month for my 80-year-old grandfather. And my band has a gig on the 17th. And I already committed to going to this trip, but I accidentally said yes to this show. It's actually in D.C., or Arlington, I should say. But I want to make sure I'm making the right call by going with my family to Switzerland and not doing the show.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
And so your question for me is what?
Should I, with my band, play the show in Arlington, or should I stick with my plans to go to Switzerland?
Which one is most important to you?
I mean, I think it's most important for me to be with my family, to be honest.
Why?
It's just a once-in-a-lifetime deal to do Switzerland.
So you believe going to see your granddaddy birthday is more important than going and making money?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Are you living with your parents or something?
Yeah, I'm living with my grandmother.
How old are you?
26.
Why are you living with your grandmama?
Oh my! To make a long story short, I moved out, living with my girlfriend, and moved in with my grandmother.
So you moved in from one mama to another one?
Yes, sir.
No wonder you can't make a decision.
Yeah.
So I want you to think about this. You're a grown man, right?
Yes.
You're 26, right?
Yes.
You have a band. You have an opportunity to go and make some money. Your family going to go on a trip to visit Grandpa for a birthday, but you're an individual grown man. You need to earn a living for yourself, and it's hard for you to decide what to do.
Yeah, I mean, the gig, I guess, it just doesn't seem as important, just because I guess I get a lot of them, but you're making an excellent point.
No, that was a question. It wasn't a point.
Oh, what was your question?
I mean, you're a grown man. You're living with grandma now. You just moved out of your girlfriend's house. You moved into grandma's house, right?
Yeah.
You don't have your own place, right?
Right.
If you're making a lot of money from your gigs, why don't you have your own place?
Well, I don't really make any money from the gigs.
Oh, I thought you just said you cannot take this job because you make a lot of money or you get a lot of gigs.
Well, I think when we spoke last time, I was concerned about being able to take the gig because I had two jobs, but they've been like kind of few and far between.
I'm confused. Why would you decide? I mean, why is there a conflict between you taking a job and you're going to get paid for it when you play the gigs, right?
Yeah.
And going to grandpa's house. Why is that even up for discussion for you as a grown man?
Just because I feel bad. I guess. I feel bad for not staying, I guess, the duration of the trip.
You feel bad for what now?
Yeah, just for not. I wouldn't be able to stay for the entirety of our trip in Switzerland. So I feel bad that
Why do you even have to go?
Well, my mother paid for my trip, so it was kind of a thing, a thing.
Did you tell her to pay for it?
I did not, no.
And if you don't want to go, tell her you're not going and turn the ticket back in or give it to someone else. When will you grow up and stop having to go on these family trips? You're a grown individual man now. And mama's never going to stop you from doing it.
Right.
Do you understand? Mama is never gonna stop planning the trip with you being a part of it. You're an individual. Why can't you make your own decision and go out and do your own thing? You ain't no little boy where you got to go on every family trip anymore.
Right.
Why don't you see it that way?
Well, my brother just got out of the Navy, and then he's going to go to Japan. He's going to start living in Japan like the following week. So it's kind of be like my last time to see my brother before he leaves. But I guess that's not really that big a deal.
So your brother, you're going to see your brother in Switzerland?
Yeah. He
not-
lives in Virginia.
Is your brother in Virginia right now?
He is.
And you're in Virginia?
Yeah.
And your brother going to go from there to Japan?
Yeah.
Can't you go over there to the house and see your brother before you leave?
Yeah, I can't.
I don't understand why issue with that. What's the problem with that?
No, you're right.
No, that was a question.
There's no problem with that.
Why can't you go to, hey, brother, you're going to Japan. Oh, see you later. Bye. Oh, because you're going to eat a lot of rice over there. But why can't you just go over there and say bye?
Yeah, I just want to go do this thing with my family so bad.
Why?
It'd just be nice. I really want to try and get sober. I've been trying to get sober for a long time.
Well, which is most important for you, to grow up and be a man or to follow your mama on these family trips?
To grow up and be a man.
And going to Switzerland going to make you sober?
For a week at least.
You're going to go over there and get drunk too, believe me.
Oh, no. It's from weed, not beer or anything.
You can't smoke weed in Switzerland?
Maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Oh, you're going to smoke some weed over there too?
No, I hope not.
Oh, no, you will. Seth, hold on for me. All right, let me take a quick break.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Let me go back to Seth. Lord, poor Seth. Seth. Hey, Seth.
Hello?
From Virginia. Hey, Seth.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can now. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yeah. I thought you were pulling me again. Pulling my leg.
No. So, Seth,
Cool.
because of time, let me do this. How old are you?
So I'm 26.
And you just moved from your girlfriend's house back to your grandma's house, right?
Yes.
Your mama bought a ticket for you to go to Switzerland with them to granddaddy's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And you have a gig coming up. And do you have another job too?
I work full time.
You work full time and you have a band, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You living with grandma, gonna let your mama buy a ticket, a grown man who should be out on his own, living his life. You don't need to be going on family trips anymore. You gonna let mama drag you back to Switzerland.
Right.
All for a thrill.
Yes.
Why? When will you grow up?
When I go back early to do the gig.
Go back where early? From Switzerland?
Yeah, I will grow up when I go back from Switzerland early to go back to Virginia.
But if you go, mama's not going to let you go back. She's going to make you feel guilty.
She'll make me feel guilty, but I can pay I have money to go back early. My band offered to pay for me to come back early.
I can't believe that your band would even have a person like you as a part of the band, being a grown man, living at home with grandma, just moved away from your girlfriend. They got to coerce you to come back and do a job, be responsible for yourself, to be a grown-up. Why would they have you in the band?
Well, I can only, I guess, but from what I observe, I'm not the only one, so it gives me leeway, but that's the only reason.
You're not the only one.
But,
What?
well, I'm not to make an excuse, right? But
Right.
there is another member of my band that is also like not following through, so I think it just makes it acceptable for me to.
When will you take responsibility for your own life? When will you get from underneath your mother's skirt tail? When will you stop letting mama control you?
Hoping by the end of today.
You gotta grow. Your mama don't love you. She hates you, and she loves the control she has over you, just as your girlfriend had control over you. Grandmama got control over you. They're not gonna set you free. You're gonna have to break away from it. And then your brother going to Japan. If you want to say goodbye to your brother, go over to the house there in Virginia and tell your brother bye. Bye, brother. I
Right.
wish you well. You're no longer a baby. You don't have to go on road trips anymore. When you want to take a trip to Switzerland, as a grown man, you go. But now you're trying to build your life as an individual.
Right.
Mama, at every family event, every family trip, mama going to make sure you go. You're going to be 90 years old and follow mama. And you, oh, the family. This is a family thing. You're no longer part of the family, man. You're not a baby.
Right. Thank you for saying all that. I've been really lost in that.
What did your father say about this?
You know what? I haven't really talked to my dad about it. I talked to my dad about some other stuff recently, but it's just a weird one talking to my dad.
It's weird talking to him about these things?
I guess not necessarily. It's just sometimes my dad, I don't know, he's kind of like 180 degrees this way and 180 degrees that way. He kind of like flip-flops. So, and majority of my family has told me to go. So I just kind of assume he'd probably tell me the same thing. So I never really asked.
But majority of your family are blind. They don't care about you either. That's why they tell you to go. They're all emotional and into the ego thing too. But why don't you know that you have a job, you have a band, you're living with grandmama. You need to be out on your own, out of grandmama's house. Why don't you already know you should not be taking this trip and that it's a setup by your mama? Why don't you already know that? Why don't your situation dictate what you should do?
I think I've just been recently I've just been very depressed, and I've just been kind of thinking to myself that trip would be nice. Like I was saying, it'd be nice to try and get sober, I guess. But I guess to follow up what you were saying about the thrills, I guess it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if it's just thrill seeking.
It's just a thrill. When you come back, you're still going to be depressed.
Right.
It's not going to take away depression at all. It's just going to cover it up for a few days. You're going to be over there grinning and carrying on. As soon as you get back home, you're going to be depressed again because the spirit of depression is still with you.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right about all that.
What would happen if you went and just say, hey, I'm not going on this trip? Why not what would happen if you just said that?
I think it would make me feel a lot more relieved.
It would.
It would upset my mom a little bit. But
And do you
I don't
care?
think it would upset me. No, I don't.
Then why don't you tell mama how the cow ate the cabbage? Because mama is not going to let you go. Every holiday, every birthday, every family so-called trip, mama going to make sure you go.
Right.
Because it's all for her ego. It's not that mama love you. And it's not that mama care that much that you're there, but mama loved and control of making the world rotate around her.
Yeah, she does. She does like to do that.
But yeah, as an adult man, you still allowed her to do it. Have you forgiven your mother?
I have.
You went and told her?
Yes, I did.
So why can't you speak up to her now?
Well, I thought I was doing the right thing
What's
by
right?
going.
What's right about this? You got a job, 2 jobs. You live with grandmama. What's right about going to Switzerland?
Right.
No, that's a question.
Nothing. Right, nothing.
And don't let the family members talk you into it either, because the family members are followers. They're not individual thinkers at all. They're not free.
Right.
They're into emotions. They want to make mama feel good. So they're not going to be able to tell you because they can't stand up for themselves.
Right. Well, I have another question for you.
Okay. Are you doing the silent? Don't forget your question. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
Oh no. I am not. No.
Well, suffer and die. What the? It's time to grow up, Seth.
Yeah.
We need leaders in America. Go ahead.
So like my dad kind of was saying he's like kind of 180 degrees this way and that way. He like the reason why I don't really like talking to him is that he's just like he's kind of like just super liberal. Not that I have anything wrong with. There's nothing wrong with that, I guess, per se. But it's just like he gives me the advice that you're giving me now, but then he's just a very emotional person, so it's hard for me to kind of accept it. It's like the saying, it's like do as I say, but not as I do, kind of thing. That's
right.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He like cheated on my mom when I was a kid, and
nice.
Yeah, really nice. And yeah, and so like,
are you bothered that he cheated on your mother?
I used to be a lot.
Yeah, you shouldn't be anymore, because he cheated on her, not you.
Right.
But
I mean, you know what's funny? I was listening to your, I guess you could call it maybe a sermon, but whatever you were saying at the church yesterday, and it's funny, like how simple, like you're saying, life is, and it's like, you know, as bad as it is, like even like the guy Alex, his legs like are working, but he's able to get up. And what I noticed is that like I'm an amazing musician, and I guess I wouldn't trade my trauma for the world, because had it not been for all that, I don't think I'd be here.
I'm sorry, you're an amazing musician, you say?
Yeah, tooting my own horn here.
Right on. But you said if it weren't for your trauma, was not for your trauma, you wouldn't be a musician?
Yeah, like I wouldn't have the love I have for it, the passion. I don't think
I understand.
For all the pain I had to go through.
Yeah, I understand that. And so what about your father?
I guess I just have trouble like communicating with him because he's so emotional. I guess if you can't tell, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Have you forgiven him?
Yeah, I have actually.
And so what's your question about him? What's your question about that?
Just like because I didn't really know to go to him. Well, I thought about going to him for advice, but I just like couldn't, because I just kind of knew it was going to be the same old advice everybody else was going to give me. So. Right.
And so your question is what?
How do I just have that conversation, like, I don't know, without being so obsessed with, just like obsessed with how it's going to go. Like, I don't.
You have what conversation?
Just like having a conversation with my dad. I think it's hard for me to talk to him, because it's like hard for me not to point out all the flaws in him that irritate me.
So you still get angry at his weakness when you see his weakness?
I don't get necessarily like angry. I don't get like frustrated. It's frustrating that his weaknesses are like his personality. So it's like his personality is just like kind of just I hate to say it, but he's just kind of a weak guy. So it's like
I
talking to
understand.
him is just kind of like barf.
Yeah. I understand. Can I
Yeah.
get you to hold for one more minute? Let me take a quick break.
Yeah, man, we're talking all afternoon, aren't we?
Hold on. 888-775-3773. Let me go quickly back to Seth out of Virginia. And Seth's trying to make a decision whether to go to Switzerland with the family, with mama and everybody, to grandpa's birthday, or stay home and work his gig, get paid, and then go to work and get out of grandmama's house. And Seth is asking about his father. And Seth, you said that it's difficult to talk to your father because he's so emotional and it's just hard to communicate with him, right?
Yeah, he just got prescribed like Adderall, and it just made him like exponentially worse.
Well, here's what I recommend. Don't resent him, all right? Drop the anger. He can't help it. He's having the same problem that you're having, standing up to mama, saying no, getting your own place and doing your thing. His mama messed him up as well.
Right.
And that's why
I live with her.
That's what. Right. And that's why he cheated on your mama, because he resents your mother and he resents his mother and he can't help it. So you got to forgive him. And so if he doesn't have the information, just don't worry about it. Just start thinking for yourself.
Right.
Here's what I recommend. Yeah. Do what you want now, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me ask. You said that you were depressed or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And why are you depressed?
I think I was just depressed because I was just not willing to, like, I don't know, like, not willing to, I don't know, come out of it. Not able to really think. I wasn't able to just, like, sit back and think. I was just always constantly in the mind palace going about how I can fix the problem in my head.
And so, do you think going to Switzerland is going to end your depression?
No.
And so, you said your mind palace. What's that mean?
The mind palace, it's just like a funny term that my cousin and I like to use for, like, the place that you go in your mind to, like, try and, like, cozy up and, like, figure out how to, or like to solve the problem, you know, in life. So you go to the mind palace to, like, with mind palace is all beautiful and pristine, where all the thoughts are, you know, perfect and everything. So you go there to, like, solve the problem, but it's the mind palace. It's like a coping mechanism. You go there to stew on it, actually.
So you made that title up, Mind Palace. You made that up yourself?
Yeah. My cousin and I made that up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And you smoke weed?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
What does depression feel like?
Depression just feels like kind of just like an inability to act.
Okay. And when you are depressed, who is depressed?
Whatever that soul is inside of me that's feeling it, that's what's depressed.
But the soul can't feel depression.
So say your question one more time.
So when you are feeling depression, who is feeling depressed?
Just me emotionally feeling depressed.
You can't be depressed.
Okay. So if I'm feeling that, right, then what do you call that?
You're lost in your mind and emotion. It's in the body. It's in the mind and body. It's in thoughts and feelings, but it's not in you. It's not you at all. But you're calling it you by saying, I am depressed. And when you say, I am depressed, you're taking on a false identity because it's impossible for you to be depressed. You can never be depressed. The fake you that you're calling you is depressed, and all it is evil inside of you because you're living in your mind and you're calling all thoughts are all lies all the time. You're calling them you when they're not you.
Yeah.
You're living in your head.
Mind Palace.
Whatever.
I hope I hear you. I hope you use that, man. That's for you.
All right, thank you. Mind Palace.
Stay out the Mind Palace.
And why did your girlfriend throw you out?
Oh, man, I threw myself out.
Okay. So here's what I recommend. I have to run, but here's what I recommend. Do what you want. I would not go on this trip. Tell your mother you ain't going, and if the family member try to force you, tell them to go. You're not going. You do that gig, you save your money, you do your other job that you have, you do the silent prayer morning and night so you can start being present instead of living in your imagination, so you can grow up, get your own place, and start living your own life.
Okay.
And then you're going to see the light of God will show you and answer all of your questions. I'm telling you, the light will guide you. The Spirit of the Father will guide you in every area of life. But you got to take your eyes off your father, your earthly father, forgive him, forgive your mother, and stop allowing your mother to haul you around to make herself feel good, because it ain't about you. Your mama is doing this for herself. She doesn't care two hoops and a holler about you at all.
Right.
It's all for gift feeling for mama.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right?
Yeah. I love mama, but she on some stuff.
If you love mama, you'll be honest with her and tell her, I'm not going. Stop trying to control me. Stop playing that. I'm not going to fall for your trick anymore. Be honest with her.
Okay.
And try to grow up and get out from under grandmama's skirt tail.
Yes, sir.
How old are you again?
I'm 26.
26, and you living with mama.
Yeah.
Doesn't like feel? No wonder you're depressed.
Yes. Yes.
Grow up, man. Forgive, do the silent prayer. Work, save your money, get your own place. A little place doesn't have to be expensive and all that, but it's a start. And one thing will lead to another one, all right?
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
All right. Hey, thanks so much.
All right. Start speaking up to your mama, your daddy, but just don't resent.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
All right, I'm excited.
You excited?
Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, I am.
About what?
I don't know. Just, having a much clearer point of view.
And then your brother going to Japan, you don't have to go all the way over to Switzerland to tell him bye. Go over there on Virginia Road and tell him bye.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. All right.
I wish you well, man. Let me know.
Wait. I'm going to listen to this back. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. Bye.
All right. Peace.